Okay, we're gonna open the meeting of the Community Preservation Committee at 9:03 on November 5th. In the trailer, 131 Pleasant Street. When I call your names, we don't have any, who's up there on Zoom? Anybody can see that?
Jay Hall and Johanna Richard.
Who?
Jay Hall and Johanna Richard.
And Johanna,
Mhm.
okay. They're NHA. Okay, so I'm gonna do the roll call. When I call your name, answer Neville,
Here.
Tom,
Here.
John,
Here.
Joe,
Here.
Tim,
Here.
Jesse,
Here.
and myself. Great, so we have a forum. Does somebody want to approve the agenda?
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
for the record, I'm here.
Oh, Lana, you're here. You're always there.
Move approval of the agenda, Madam Chair.
Okay, Tim made a motion to.
Second.
Neville seconded. Since nobody's up there, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, then we have fund requisitions from the last meeting we have to ratify. Anybody have any questions or somebody want to make a motion to ratify those?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Okay, is there a second? Seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We have. Fund requisition, new one, interfaith, Neville, this is yours, $19,240.
Yep.
89 cents from FY 26. Any questions?
No, move to approve.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, Joe seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I'll tell her when she gets here, but I'm not gonna give you the update on the funding we have. For open space, because we had so few over the years, we had money sitting in there. We have $382,900.67 sitting in open space recreation to spend.
So that's that figure again, please.
382,
Mhm.
967 cents. Okay, everybody? Housing, 0, because we always spend that down. In historical, we have 82 cents. That's probably from something we didn't do the cents on. Undesignated reserves. I know, Tom, you had a question about that. It took us
Yeah.
a while to figure that out. Called me this morning at 7:30 in the morning. We went in at 7 to get me to figure. $2,697,684.03. Now that is, some of it is for unspent administrative, because that goes into undesignated. But a large part of it is because for the first 10 or 15 years of the CPC, we didn't know how long it was gonna last, since we were one of the first ones, and the first 3 opted in the state. So Ken was always worried, and I supported that, and I believe Neville did as well. Putting aside a certain amount of money, because we had a lot more money back then, because we got 100% match, then we got an 80% match, and we got, as people more opted in, it kept going lower and lower and lower. And we're now down to what, 15, 10, 20% or whatever it is, because so many other towns are opted in. So just to hedge our bets, in case somebody didn't like it after the first couple of years from 2021. Or 2001. We put money aside, probably 100 to 200,000 every year. We put it aside because we had enough money to spare. We didn't have all that many applicants, so we always had money left. So we put it into undesignated reserves in case the town voted it out, or there was an emergency, or we had something that needed to be funded. So that's why it's fairly large. And he said that's the bottom one. He probably, because there's some other stuff floating around, he hasn't put back in there yet. But that's the figure that he wants us to work with. So I know, Tommy, you're talking about spending it down, but there's a reason why we didn't spend it down. But
Madam Chair, may I just clarify? That's not, if I said that, that's not what I meant. What I said was that if we did, we should at some point have a discussion on what we're gonna do with it.
Yeah.
Like, to re-up that discussion, that's all.
and what he said, you cleared it, spend, if we're short a couple $100,000 because of the totals of people that we're funding, we've got it. So he said,
Yeah.
don't worry about that part of it.
Yeah.
As long as we have a base of like 2 million in there, we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
So your chair's over here, Elena.
Are we continuing to put money into the
No.
undesignated
No,
reserve?
because we have so much less money now to play with and we have more applications.
Got it.
So that was only the case for the first year, 10 years to 15 years at the most, where we did have that ability to do that. But as the percentage of what we got back is
Looks
less
like-
and less and less, we're stuck with that.
So it's almost like a mini endowment.
Yeah. So Ellen, I'm gonna give you the figures real fast, write them down. I'll tell you what they are.
I haven't. Unless there's something new.
No, this is what I got this morning.
Oh. It only went to you?
Well, because Brian called me at 7:30.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
those figures. Gotcha.
Open space rec, we have 382,967 cents in reserve for open space. Then we have-
967 cents in reserve. Excellent.
And then undesignated, we have 82 cents in historical and nothing in housing. But in undesignated reserves, we have $2,697,684.03.
And that, so. Okay. And that takes into account the bonds?
No, that has nothing to do with the bond. It's the stuff that we stockpiled for the first 10 or 15 years in case something happened and they voted it out.
Right, Bernie did.
Yes. So. Where we are now. Is. We can take a first crack. On who we want to fully fund,
Oh.
and then we'll come back to the big ones.
Madam
What do you
Chair,
think?
I'm printing out my spreadsheet.
Madam Chair, Niles Parker just joined us.
Okay, they're all NHA, this is questions. See what else I opened here, printed out all that stuff. Yeah, I had to remember to go back and help and get it out of the front.
Bad.
What?
So much paper.
Yeah. I mean, I just had adjusted all the amount for the stuff that Glenn had sent us since the last meeting. I had the new subtotals and now I let that.
Didn't have time to do it either.
I did have time to do it. I did this morning, but I.
But you can just.
In the printer.
Yeah. We had time to do the.
I took it all out of the file, I know I can't find it. Okay,
Wasn't
who
there,
have them, who has the amounts?
I have not updated for the emails.
Okay. Well, it has.
that's what I was gonna ask. Wasn't there a bunch of adjustments?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the agenda.
No, I'm saying I haven't updated mine, but I think I'm so far so good.
I only saw one that was adjusted.
No, there were 3 or 4 of them, Justin.
That's what I thought.
Oh,
On there.
it's on the agenda, sorry.
Somebody can get into their computer, let me see what they are.
You can.
What document? The updated,
NHA, the Parks and Rec,
there was a bunch. of them, too.
and, quite a few of them. I printed all that stuff out.
I'm gonna. Is it okay if I call my coworker now to send email to me?
Yeah, it doesn't get
Open up. No, I'm talking about my situation.
No. Is it Excel?
Yes.
She can email it to me if you want
Okay.
as well.
Did anybody else print theirs out?
You're talking about the amounts that were like remain,
Yeah, Remain, NHA,
remain, was that 341, 199? That's the new figure, 700.
hold on.
And then,
Was that 341 even level?
341, 199,
Which one?
remain.
Hold on. Number 2.
Then we have,
Hold on.
okay.
All right, so what is Remain now? 3,
341,
yep,
199.
okay.
And the next one is, NISDA,
Hold on. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that?
they went from 361 to 346, 755,
Okay,
One more time on that number?
346.
Yep.
755.
okay.
Those are the two I have.
No, there's a.
NHA too.
NHA,
I think they went to
NHA.
718, was it, or something?
oh, ask them up there. Bring in Jules up there.
They went significant.
Jules, unmute yourself.
Hi, everyone.
What's the figure for the Whalen Museum now?
Yeah.
Gosh, hold on 1 second.
Hi there, I have them. So, the candle factory, we've reduced it to 267, 274.52.
Okay. And the old mill,
The mill, we brought down to 570,000,
hold on,
phasing
Yeah.
that out.
very home to go.
It's even, 570 even.
It's, hold on,
570 even, yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Glenn, am I missing a page?
Didn't be.
Run that by again.
The candle factory, 267,
It wasn't that sheet.
274 and 52 cents.
Do it again, 267,
267, 274 and 52 cents.
okay,
And the reduced for the mill is 570,000 even.
and what was NISDA again?
NISDA,
346, 755,
346 what?
755. If I heard.
That's correct.
Okay,
Mhm.
and Remain was down to what?
341, 199.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah, if it's works, we know some.
yeah, I got.
hold on.
360.
Get that.
We
I'll
took,
do that, I'll be on my phone.
took two out.
No, I got, this is yours.
We took out, the rink
Yep.
and then artists associations withdrew their applications.
So now,
Sports went down to 359,503.
which one?
The Parks and Rec went down to 359,503.
Hold on, I can keep it on the page.
Sport.
350, 350, what?
359, 502.
Parks and Recs,
359,
503.79.
okay,
And then NRSA didn't go down necessarily. I didn't see that they went down. I saw that they were giving us the
Well, I
detailed
didn't-
breakdown.
yeah, well, I had the problem with the fact that they rounded up.
Yeah,
And the original, the number that we were left with on that one,
so now we have the breakdown of the deficit, 126.
their gap was 208,000.
No, it was more than that. It was,
No, I wrote it down. Their gap was 208 from what we gave them and what they bid it out.
No, not in,
No.
not in the update.
no, that's not the.
What's the update?
I'm just saying that too.
It.
We need the update.
The gap was 273, 265. With a additional deficit of 126, 735.
So what are they down to now?
They're not down. They just gave us I didn't get that.
No, they just gave us
message.
an explanation of.
So you have Scott
contingencies and
Anderson
sorts.
breakdown. So they're doing ADA,
I know that I read that whole thing.
relevant things.
What are the
So
two
the
figures?
landscaping and landscaping.
What are the two figures, two something?
So 273,265.
Okay,
And 126, 735.
okay. So now that we have these adjusted, does somebody want to add these all up? That has something that makes sense to add up with?
I have the totals here. Let me just double check that everything's properly. So the adjusted totals for historic preservation are 2,000,000.
Hold on, no, that. Yeah, 2 million,
This is wrong.
that's not right.
This doesn't seem.
Close.
It's 600,000.
All right.
No.
Get here, let's re-add these up.
I'm coming up with 2,636,147.52. Can you open it?
No, I lost my thing because I opened up yours.
Now,
I'm sorry. That's not.
Go.
Well, it should automatically do the sums, updated sums.
You're an adding machine.
I know. Let's-
All right, here we go.
have an adding machine. All right, are you ready, John? I'll read them to you. Don't look down at your sheet.
Okay,
Clear it. I don't think.
okay.
All right, 263,249. 152.
Wait a minute. I need to go wrong.
Do you want me to do it? I used to do it for
4910. Okay, got it.
152,870. Okay, 135,000.
If you don't want it to.
1, 2, 3. Okay. 194,800. Okay, 341,199. Okay, 140,000. Just hit CE. Okay,
Oh, maybe.
140,000 again.
140 again?
Yep.
It is gonna be.
Well, like I said, 45,000. What are you doing?
You put 45,000 twice. One should have been just 40,000.
Oh, one's 40, that's right, so mine.
Oh, do the thing.
Yeah, I can do it.
I have to do this every day.
Okay, we're good.
And then the next one's
I
40,000.
got that. Just fix that.
So you got 45 and 40.
Yes.
All right, 346,
3, 4, 6.
755.
Okay.
And 267,
6, 7,
no, 267, not
Okay.
22.
2, 6, 7.
267, 274.52.
And go on.
570,000.
$2,636,147.52.
Like automatic.
One more time on that. 2,636,147.52.
Get over yourself.
So that Park and Rec was included in there, cause that was.
No,
No,
this is just historic.
Historic.
147.
2,636,147.52.
Okay, we don't have to add the 400 for that other one, we know it. Okay, clear it.
Okay,
Okay. What did we end up doing with safe harbor for animals?
pushing it off till next time.
Also next year.
All right, so we took that out. So there's 3 out.
So I haven't.
Okay, so now it's down to 94,267.63.
What is that number, Linda?
94, it's on your sheet,
Linda Lauren.
Linda Lauren.
Oh, I got you, okay.
Now go ahead and put the full 400,000 in there. Okay, 359,503.79. We still got all out, we haven't taken anything out of Audubon yet. That's 162,000.
No, 64,941.
All right, see, that's what I was looking for. What's the price?
64,931 is what they're asking.
And she's giving us a bunch of crap about that. So put 64,931 in there.
It's not that. It's feedback.
What's that total?
918,702.42.
Okay, add that to 400,000.
One more time on that one?
918.
Yep.
70242. Thank you.
All right, so add about 100,000 to that,
Add these two together?
yes.
Where's that coming from?
Hold on, the barn
The whole,
development
and the
house.
400?
Yeah, we're within
Well,
range.
I'm adding all of it up,
You want me to do that?
yeah,
Okay. 2636. So, what is he want?
I'm gonna add 400,000,
400,000.
add 918. 702. 42,
3,954,849.94.
okay, guys,
Here, we're chinny chin chins.
You get it, Eleanor, on your
You got it.
spreadsheet?
I forgot to remove the, two things, so
What was that?
I would have, I removed
I have
them.
918. And I have, 400, what was the third figure?
2697, 680.
well, it's not straight 918, it's 702.42.
97,
Well, guys, we have to have much more discussion,
up 2 million.
I'm like,
So that means everybody gets funded.
everybody.
it's gonna be like
gets-
town meeting,
Yeah.
doom, doom, doom.
Yeah. This has happened only once before, where we didn't have to like, Tim knows, we didn't
Nice
have to like,
job.
beat each other up
Hmm.
to get this figure.
Yeah.
Geez, look at these people.
Madam Chair, just,
And that's without the open space piece.
The addition.
Now, because we have that huge amount of open space, which we stockpiled because sometimes we have to help the town buy like the FAA project. We had to contribute like say 500,000 to buy that property in Mattocket. There's always stuff coming up with the open space that we just don't. We didn't anticipate from year to year, so we could spend that
Give it to the
and bump the Parks and Rec back up.
Park and Rec, yeah.
Madam Chair.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, the three that are out are Artists Association. Nisha,
Addition.
Nisha and the ISO
Yeah,
for various reasons.
yes,
So,
Okay,
now, is Nisha considered open space?
it is.
So you could stockpile a little bit too.
We could. But that's where we seem to have the biggest nut is the open space recreation part of this. But we have, as I said, we have 381,000 in there, 382,980.
Wait, that's actually the half of, so what, if I may? What, Charlie Pocky said,
Well, yeah, Park and Rec and Nisha would. I would say.
well, just for
For discussion,
So for discussion, Nisha, where we were with that was it's fine to push that off to next year because really, are they gonna be able to do what all the others?
they're not there yet.
They're not there yet. So, and if they come back,
Sure, what?
Nisha's the pet, the pet adoption.
The
That
park,
Memorial
Yeah, I
Garden.
mean, I'm not sure how much, Charlie needs, because we also want, but I'm just thinking with the Nisha, I mean, that's gonna have it, that'll come up next year, and any little bit that we put towards it will be, will be a good thing, but yeah, so,
well, the thing with Charlotte is that that this only gives them enough to do one field.
yeah.
There are two, there's an upper, having umpired out there and coached, there are two fields, there's an upper field and a lower field.
So it seems like.
The upper field's in pretty rank shape.
And the amount that the additional amount to make them whole is 359,503.79. It's
Yeah.
exactly half,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is under what our reserve is, if we want to spend.
I think that's a good. I think if it's in need, the Nisha is not in need right now. I mean, I think that's
Less.
not even happening yet, yeah.
Yeah. So if you would like to do that, that still gives us a little bit left in open space.
It gives us a little less left in open space, but we still have the unrestricted that we could use for anything.
Except that we're.
I don't want to touch that.
We don't.
No, I'm just saying, it's not like we won't have a reserve. that's
Yeah,
all
it's not
I'm
like
saying.
we're desperate at the
Right,
moment.
Yeah,
right, yeah.
it's really reassuring to know we have that. Is
How
it,
does everybody feel about giving them the,
may I ask you a question about are they sitting in a bank account or is it part of the funds that's
No,
got
it's
volatility to it? It's
it's just there in our
pure
account.
funds.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not going anywhere, can't go anywhere, and it just sits there and earns interest, actually. And that's where a lot of our interest is coming from.
Put
Okay.
that into an
That's about
EFT.
$160,000 a
No,
year in
no, no.
interest. It's not a bad deal.
We actually might save money, or Charlie might save money if we do both fields at the same
I
time.
know that because we built, I was on the board, we built both fields.
So it might be economically in our interest.
Yeah.
And maybe
Get
it'll
both done.
generate more interest in getting kids back on the
Yeah.
diamond, you know, I
Yeah.
think baseball and softball. They had a tough time retaining with retainage.
I make a motion, we move the 359 over and restore.
Well, well, we're not there yet. We're just fully fund them, because we haven't made any motions yet on any of these. So-
You gotta have somebody say something.
Not
For the
only
record.
when we go to vote on them, do we say we give them the full amount? We don't have to move anything around at this point.
From the reserve though, you know?
Yeah, when we get to voting on this, we do. We're not voting on
That's a
the
good-
end, the whole thing at the moment.
I'm good. I'll put my shoes back on.
Okay. So we can do this and we can, here's my other question. I know Tim had floated the idea. You want to tell him about your idea of a bond on the mill?
Yeah, did you talk about it last week? I
I
apologize.
threw it on the table, but you weren't here.
I was thinking, the mill at 2.2 million. And the significance of it, whatever the number is, I was thinking rather than chip away at it. It might make some sense to talk about it, funding it all at once. And not have to designate 500,000 every year for 4 or 5 years to get it done. So I called Linda after our last meeting and said, what do you think about bonding that project? Probably would be less than the 500 every year. And we could get the mill done all at once, which again, I don't think there's any more significant project that we could do than the mill. It's one of the top 10 clearly of the island. So I wasn't here to make my pitch last week. I just threw it out there for consideration. I don't know what Eleanor, I don't know what the objection would be. You know, it's either we pay 500 a year for 4 or 5 years.
It's still money being spent.
Yeah,
We've
of
spent a
course.
ton of money on the NHA over the years. We're probably, they're gonna come back, they come back every year. I've only been on this board for, I think, 5 years, and every time and you guys have many more, it's much more seniority. They're always on here for at least a couple of projects. $2 million+ with reduced amounts to historic preservation is a lot. Everything else is always so much less. So I have issue with going into overage always for historic preservation. I know we're a historic island. I'm all about preservation. It's a wonderful thing, but I don't like going out on a limb with additional debt, bonding, et cetera, for something when they can come back. They have broken it down. They have very kindly done what we asked them to do and realized that they can phase it. I have no problem with phasing. We've done it with other projects. I think that's a good idea. And probably when they start to do some of this other work, they're gonna come up with more things, and next year they're gonna go back and say, oh, we discovered this, or we discovered that. That's gonna happen. I just don't wanna I think with the volatility of this economy and what's going on on our, generally speaking, I do not wanna go into bonding. We already have these massive bonds for affordable housing. I think that's a tough ask also for the people who vote on this stuff. And I think it's a bit of as I said previously, I have great esteem for this Whaling Museum and all of its institutions and everything they do for our community. But they do have fundraising capabilities. Other things like, as I said previously, when you weren't able to attend, NISHA does not, NISHA did.
Yes, it does.
No, I was gonna say, NISDA. NISDA does not. The Congo Church has less of a capability. St. Paul's Church. Some of these other organizations come to us and they've much more difficulty raising the amount of money that a very well-established institution does have. So.
Well, I don't wanna,
How does
go back
everybody
and
else
forth,
feel?
but
John, hold on, John has his hand up.
I guess I'm wondering about the timing of the bonding. I'm sure that's not an immediate thing, right? The other things we bonded, they don't necessarily need the money right away and it works for them. Will this even work for the mill if they have to wait for this money? It doesn't have to go to town meeting and stuff like that, or?
This feels like everything else does. They vote on the whole slate of our.
I'm just questioning, wonder if it will even work for them, if it's even a possibility. They're gonna have people doing the work, they're gonna wanna get paid, they're not gonna wanna wait 2 years to get paid, right? So. I
It'd
don't
be a
know.
bond that would be taken immediately upon town meeting and then they'd start to draw on it. I mean, Brian would have to draw, take the bond.
I don't. Madam Chair, if I could just comment, rebut a little bit of what Eleanor said. you may or may not have been here when they came in. I feel a little differently than you do about, you know, the luxury that they have fundraising. Because they have such a huge portfolio of Nantucket antiquities to maintain that it's a real challenge for them. And I think Linda, as our rep on most of their projects, will tell you a lot of their stuff is in decay and decline because of that. And so I feel like if we could help them, they're basically in the same boat as all of the historic buildings here, that they've got these huge edifices that they need to maintain and not enough money to go around. So I'll just agree to disagree with you.
Well,
you
I
know,
will agree to disagree with you.
you know.
Yeah,
Joe,
no, Neville said it.
Neville,
Yes, I'm also inclined to, I'm actually inclined not to fund them this year. There was something that happened when they were here where they ran into a problem with the structure of the building. And they had to stop everything until they got that settled, but they didn't have a time schedule on that. They didn't have, they couldn't say when it would be done before they can continue working. And I think, if I remember, Madam Chair knows about it because of something about the building moving and it's not too stable. So they're gonna be doing a lot of experimentation and sound and whatever else they're gonna do before they even continue working to spend the money that they do have. I'm inclined in my own mind, I don't know, I don't have any expertise on it, but it's probably gonna take them a while to do that. So they would not need the money right away. They wouldn't need that money. I mean, I agree, since I've been here, we've been funding everything that the Wheeler Museum came on to, all their properties and all of that, and we did beautiful work with all of them. And I'm not saying don't fund them, but I'm saying for this year, this ask, I would hold off. That's mine.
I totally appreciate your thinking outside the box and wanting to do.
Yeah.
You know, kudos. I also think about things like, you know, Ryan Mitchell, if and when they come back, they have difficulty fundraising as well. There are organizations out there that in my mind, that's what we need. And again, it's great that they have fundraising capabilities outside of, you know, other smaller nonprofits. Yes.
So, I would say, I think it's a great idea, as a backup to have a bond situation. But I think that, you know, they reduced their numbers this year. And we were able to fund the reduced money. And down the road, if it might come up, a bonding situation, I would be open to it, but for this year's funding, I think we're okay.
So,
Joe,
thank you. I think we're gonna go into what Ellen was saying, which I agree. I think they can do a lot of fundraising. But I think the Linda Loring Foundation has a huge endowment.
it's huge,
And
and we're funding them.
And we're funding them. Can we take the 94,000 and put it towards what I think is a really critical piece of history is to kind of. Right. And fund that, and then maybe we beat them halfway and we bond half of it or something. I'm trying to figure out some way to do it, but I feel like the Linda Loring Foundation is fine and they're doing a great job, but at the same time, they have a massive endowment that I'd really like to help the Artists Association in some way, shape or form to kind of get this project going.
Artists Association?
I mean, the NHA, sorry, to get that moving, I think that would be a really important piece.
I said the same thing last year when Linda Mullins came in, or the year before that, is that they have a huge endowment. And they don't have a huge amount of employees out there, and they run a very top-notch organization out there. But they have more than enough money to do it themselves. Especially after they sold the house on Race Court. They have more than enough money in that endowment. Because one of my clients bought it. So I would think what Joe is saying is take the money from Linda Loring and put it towards the mill.
Yeah.
And see what they can do with that. That's almost $100,000, that's 94,000.
For that.
Not enough for that.
I think that fire break work is really, I mean, I know that firework.
Oh,
break work
yeah.
is really good, and it's not a lot, they asked, I think,
They
other than
never asked
Holly's
for
little
much.
laugh, it's very, it's a pittance.
No, but they have the money, that's my point, like,
That's the point.
if you look at their numbers, I don't wanna say.
How much have we given them over the years?
No, I get that,
Almost $1 million.
but in the beginning, they did not have that, and now.
Yeah,
Trust has been closed and opened and moved and shifted, and so I think that that's why, I love the foundation, but I definitely think that this
760.
is. That money could be used elsewhere, and looking at the, just, I don't know, I just would rather shift that money to a different direction. Personally.
I mean, so are we hampering the historic? With a reduced price?
Spreading it out over several years on their phase. They sent that whole thing in, if somebody can pull it up on their fancy phones.
And.
They're spreading it out.
And I'm sorry, I should know this, but what, and so what the reduced amount that they asked for was,
570. Did everybody get the thing that was emailed yesterday or
Yeah.
day before yesterday?
so I would be okay taking that out of the undesignated.
Not that amount, but some.
I mean, if that is, rather than a bond.
Well, I'm not taking $2 million out.
Oh, I thought you said it was 5%.
Well, I didn't know what. it was.
570, we have recovering that right now, we're fine. At
Oh,
570.
okay, no, I'm not
If you
talking
would
about.
figure out how to get more money to them. Never,
Yeah,
Yeah, I just wanted to say, dropping away from everything for a minute, going back to the bond. The thing with the bond with me is that when we do a bond, and we have all of our money, the simplest way I can say it is, we have all our money here before we even start funding. All that money comes off the top.
Right.
So the more we get into this bond thing, the less money we're gonna have in the end. If we start thinking that way, the less money we'll have to spend on any projects.
But here's my thinking, and I'll just last comment. My thinking is. If you use the pickleball courts or the racket club as an example. If the mill's gonna be in every year for 500,000, let's just say. There's 5 years, whether we're paying a bond every year to fund the mill project, or we're taking money out of our. Bucket every year to pay the 500, we're still gonna be paying every year. The equation in my mind is, if we take the bond. To fund the mill in total, it may only be $270,000 a year, so it actually frees up more money doing it through a bond for us to spend every year than if we go with chunks of 500 every year. It's a way to kind of leverage our finances and do more, not less. That was my thinking.
we have a AAA bond rating at the moment, correct, Tom?
But I will say,
I was gonna say, what's the interest on that? Don't we have to pay that?
What, we'll get to extrapolate, on the $5 million housing bond. That we've taken, we're putting away 350,000 a year. If we give them the 570, that takes it down to just 2.250. That's less than half of the 5 million, so it's probably around 175 grand a year we gotta pull out to service that bond. Which is a lot less than them coming in back to us for 5 years for $500,000
Yeah.
a year.
Right.
So I don't know how everybody feels about this.
Could you repeat that? I was doing some calculations. I'm sorry.
If we give them the 570 this year. And then we also talk to the town about taking a bond. That's gonna be for about 2.15,000 or something, somewhere in that range. Which is less than half of the 5 million, and right now in the 5 million, we're servicing those at 350,000 off the top every single year. So if you sort of extrapolate from that figure, it's probably around 175, 165 that we would have to service that for 10, 20 years. Or we could take a shorter bond and get rid of it much quicker.
So I think I largely agree with Eleanor on this, with all the provisos that NHA is a wonderful organization and does amazing work. I think my biggest issue with this is what's the limiting principle here? Because there are a lot of organizations who could come to us and
Same thing.
what's the arbitrary answer for, oh, we're gonna give NHA a bond, but we're not going to give this other worthy project or
Or
project.
full funding to those who decreased from
Exactly.
much lesser amounts.
Exactly. And also, I think that a bonding conversation about anything is premature without having Brian Turbot present to us and saying what the interest rate is, what it's like going out to the market and delivering that, what it's gonna do to our finances, what it's gonna do to our projects moving forward. So I would not support this at this point, but
Next year, we could talk
Well-
to Brian ahead of time.
could I finish though? Let me just say, Tom, my thought on this was to ask exactly that question. If we bonded 2.8 million, what would the rating be and what would the annual fee be? I think Linda's in the ballpark, but I wasn't making a motion that we ironclad do that today.
No, I got you.
And certainly these numbers don't need to be finalized for a little longer, so we could do a little exploration. So I'm fine. I liked what happened. We lived within our appropriation this year. If you want to go that way, that's fine. Again, my apologies. I wasn't here last week for that
No, it's a discussion.
presentation, but I
Yeah.
think we shouldn't just rule out all of our options, and I think bonding is a good way to leverage and maybe do more. But
Madam Chair, Sarah Boyce is just joined.
Okay, nobody has a hand up though, right?
No,
thank you.
What we can do is fund as we've suggested here for now. I can go talk to Brian. We do have time. I can go talk to Brian. If anybody's interested in that information, I'll pursue it with Brian. If there's not enough of you interested in doing that, and the only reason, Tom, this is different than everybody else is because this is iconic. It's Nantucket. It's the oldest and the only one still working in the country. And it's really part of Nantucket's heritage as opposed to Remain or some other thing like that. So that's why it's kind of a critical, iconic, and fully in the public view. And kids go there and people go in it. It was a milling stuff when my kids were small. We'd go there and watch the mill. So I look at this as a little different than all the other historic stuff. So I think we need to preserve our heritage, which is that mill. Now, if there's enough votes here or enough sentiment here for me to go talk to Brian about that and get more drilled down on the figures, is that something I have enough people that are comfortable with me asking him, at least finding out what the deal is?
That's one question before you do that. What happened if you did go get a bond and then all of a sudden the NHA comes back and says, we raised $2 million or something? How do you diminish that bond? Just curious.
And that's what I have to ask Brian.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious if that's,
Because
to
we
your
don't
point,
need
I do
it.
think I do think this is something they could go out.
Well, they're fully planning on.
But I think
it.
if we could meet,
That thing.
help them get this started, I think it's really critical.
Yeah.
And say, listen, we went to the CPC, they gave us X amount and we're short. And I think that would be the really kind of way to go to the public.
Well, they're fully planning, they're planning to do that.
You're right,
In the
right.
little, in their thing that they sent us, they're fully planning to leverage our money with other people donating. But our 570 is 2.3 million dollars away from that. So what they're gonna use the money that we already gave them last year for is the scaffolding and, securing the building. So it doesn't deteriorate and they can actually put monitoring things in the trucks and stuff going by to see how much shape there is in that rubble foundation under this thing. Cause it's not sitting on a slab, guys, it's on rubble. So there's a lot of moving parts, literally and figuratively, on this particular project. But if there's enough sentiment for me to go even ask Brian, I'll go ask Brian how this works. What's the sentiment?
I don't see why it can't hurt. I mean, I'm not necessarily for it for this year, certainly, but I mean, I'm okay researching it more.
So we can
Even-
take a
even-
vote on the 570, and then when we meet next, we can always reopen that, and I can tell you what he said. Is that okay?
That's I would say yes. I think we do a roll call.
Yeah, I'd request that we ask the finance director to come to a meeting and explain it to us.
He said he would, he just couldn't today.
Yeah, that's fine. And also that we have a discussion on if we were to do something like that for any organization, what it would be like moving forward with other organizations, because I don't want to get into a position where we have applicants next year asking questions and we're trying to come up with some policy on the fly. I think that's not right.
Okay.
I agree, absolutely.
But if you look at the other ones on here, there's nothing that rises to that level except for that Whaling Museum
That's subjective. Okay.
and the Sankaty headlight, these iconic Nantucket things, as opposed to I'm driving by a building.
I'm sure there are projects, though, that this is so speculative,
Oh, I'm sure
but
there are.
want CPC funding and say, oh, well, we could come in for $3 million, but we're just gonna add, like, there's probably, those are out there too.
Right.
So I just wanna be, for us to be careful. I just would note one thing on the affordable housing money. That is also extremely important to show to the state that we have buy-in
Right.
on that. So it's a little
We're
different.
participating.
Again, nothing on this, the worthiness of the NHA's project, but that is a little different in the widest sense.
That's
I
fine.
think it's a slippery slope when we start analyzing outside of the application about money and their abilities, because as I look through the list of projects this year, and you could ask, well, why is the town on here? They have lots of fundraising capabilities, yet they're in here for,
No, they don't.
They don't.
No, they don't.
oh, well,
Legally
let
do
me,
that.
wait a
Can't
minute.
legally fundraise for a town.
No, but they have the ability to raise taxes. They have the ability to put warrant articles in. They have the ability for a capital program to talk about it. And they're here for CPC money. So,
Yeah, the town-
don't forget, I know how government works. I've been around it a little
Yeah, but
bit.
keep in mind, I was the chairman of the HCC and we couldn't get the town to buy into any of this.
But
So only because
my
we
point
got
is, they
votes, we were able
have
to do it.
lots of ways to raise money. That's my only point.
They don't, not for historic preservation, and I know that it's a low on the totem pole, they don't care, they're not funding it.
Well, I'm
So let's not tit for tat here, but
I sat on quite a few boards that supported money for town clerk records restoration. So there's lots of,
But you're just being hypocritical. You just said we shouldn't do that and then you're doing it. So.
no, what are you
All right.
talking about, Alan?
That's enough.
I don't, no, but I mean, you said we shouldn't go out and speculate on what people can fundraise, and then you're speculating on what the town can do.
The town does
Well, I
not
just know they have lots of ways to raise money. We go to town meeting every year and appropriate $1 zillion for lots of things.
But they're not raising money for the building with Nantucket in mind. That's been on the project for 20 years 25 years when I first got on the HDC. Nobody was cared. Nobody was giving us any money for it,
Well,
nothing.
I'm not saying they gave it to you, Linda, but they have the ability.
They won't do it. That's the point. Not for historic preservation.
Yeah, it seems like their priorities change with the wind.
Yeah, it's not us.
Chair.
Okay,
Wait, no,
We'll just,
Yeah,
it's yours.
not sure. No, I give it to you.
oh, I'm talking now.
they're talking.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, I'm gonna say two things. First, I'm gonna say, I like us to stay on point, on what we're doing. The second is, if we also said when we came here, we are going to go, we know there were things and information that we had to get from some of the parties here. Whether we got the information or not, we're gonna go forward with what we're doing. Going back to get the town to come back in to let us know about bonding, to me, is not that. We're not found, that means we have not finalized. And if that is the case, if we're gonna open it back up again, I would like to go back to the NHA and have them give us a timeline as to like when that structure is gonna be stable enough for them to start doing the work that they have already gotten funded for. And give us the time, 6 months, a year, or whatever it's gonna be, because they can't spend any money until they do that. That's what they said here. So if it's gonna
no.
open up, I would like to get that information.
They gave us the phasing. If you
What was
want to
it?
ask them, they're right there.
So let's ask them.
Niles? You gotta unmute.
Yeah, sorry. Hello.
Question?
Sorry, can
Go
you
ahead.
repeat the question? It was about
Yes.
our phasing.
What is the time limit that you need to have the building stabilized before you can go forward with it, with the work that has to
With
be
the
done?
mill.
The mill.
Yeah. So we are doing that work now in part. We hope to have the scaffolding up before the end of the year so that we continue working on the inside this winter through the spring. That phase that we laid out in the proposal is work that we hope to do with the existing money to get us to July. At which point we hope to have the ability then to be able to do that next phase of work. Removing the cap, the tail pole, and things like that. So we are able to do the analysis and the work we need to do to keep investigating the structure. And that'll continue over the next 6, 7 months.
So while you're doing the work to investigate this, the stability of the structure, that's what you're talking about, correct?
Yep.
Can you do other work as well? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Yes, we can. Yes. Yep.
How long before, if you were fully funded right now? No matter what the mechanism, how long would it take to finish that whole project? Do you have any idea?
Probably in the vicinity of 2 years. I mean, the number that they originally came back with was slightly over 2 years.
All right, and if you get the 570 that you can start using next July 1. How long, if that's the way it has to be phased, how many years with the phasing project?
Hard to know exactly, but probably at least 3.
Okay. So we're talking a roughly.
If not, maybe slightly more.
But you're gonna use what we give you as a fundraising mechanism, to get
Yeah.
more people to buy in, correct?
Absolutely the intent. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody have any other questions for Niles? Jesse?
No, I mean, I think, we're good for funding them this year and especially if that is stretching out over 3 years. We can always go back and fund it more next year,
Yeah. Or we can take a bond next year, depending on.
or a bond if that's what we all decide.
Okay, so they can keep going with the 570, just may extend the project a little bit longer, but then again, they might get more buy-in from
Mhm.
donations. Because we're giving them 570, you've already sunk in, Grace, $500,000 already into this one project, so. We gave them 240 last year. They haven't been in here for a while, actually, 150 and 19, that was the other building. So we've got $250,000 sunk into it now, we're gonna give them another 570. I just assume not give Linda Lawrence something that, there's no sentiment for that, and Joe and I are on the same page with that. How does anybody else feel about Linda Lawrence?
I think they're fine. I mean, you got everybody covered.
It's
I think everything covered. for
Yeah.
one.
Just-
I mean, if we were trying to find money to
Right,
cover
exactly.
people, I would say yes, but
Right.
we're not, so
That was my.
I think we
There's
could.
another option if you wanted to take 200,000 out of reserves and give it to the Mel.
I think we need to at this point.
200,000 to bring them up to 770 or?
They're not asking for that, right?
Well, they asked for 2.5, 2.8.
Oh, I know
We
they
give
did,
Whatever we want.
But they said this would get them going for now, and we'll see what they say next year.
I really appreciate that they did give us this breakdown.
Right.
And for me, it also gives me a better understanding of how this project would be phased.
Yeah.
You're talking about the 750. Oh, we're going.
If we give them another 200,000 out of the reserves, undesignated reserves, then it's another 770, and they can just keep going.
I mean, I don't mind doing something like that in as much as it might help them with their fundraising capabilities. If they can say, we want to match this,
Right.
I have no opposition to that.
That'd be huge if they could match it, yeah, that's what they're, is that their kind of platform?
Well, we have to ask Niles, but
Do you-
typically in fundraising, you want to do
You
things
want
like
to do
that.
matching, and I,
It's
you talked about doing any
Leveraging
matching?
that.
Leveraging,
Yes, that's certainly something we'd like to do. Yep.
okay,
I mean, it's a great project.
Yeah.
I'm not I don't feel,
So by us putting in 200 more thousand, they're able to get another 200,000.
Well, it's 175. It's a, 145. 145,000.
gets them to 750,
750.
715, right,
That's a
okay.
whole project, so we could take.
So they
that.
could remove the sourced funding and then leverage that to get additional matching funds.
Yes.
so take 145 out of undesignated reserves, is that where we're going here?
That sounds smart.
Would be the way I would go.
Okay, so that'll give them a total of 715, Tom, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right then, so let's go back to the beginning.
Are we taking?
On the top.
Yep, I'll give it.
Are we taking 359 from open space and giving it to the park and West too?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
What does that leave?
That's a plan. Well, not
What's
much.
382, 967 minus 359?
Hold on,
Oh,
wait,
you want me to do that?
50,
Okay.
well, just out of curiosity.
18,000
what's happening?
roughly.
What did I miss there?
We're trying to see how much we have left in open space after we.
Am I reading this?
Oh, like 20,000 or something?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, is everybody comfortable with this to start going from the top?
Yes.
I'm not comfortable with it, but let's go.
Okay, we've got the Sconset Trust. Fully funded, 263, 249. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Funded. Nantucket Community Serve the Landmark House,
Yes.
152,870. Is there a motion, Joe?
Second,
Neville? Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
It's fully funded. Hospital Thrift Shop. They're just nickel and diming themselves to death over there. 135,000. Did you make a motion?
so move.
That's fully
Second.
funded. Eleanor? Neville, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, First Congregational Church in Nantucket, Old North Vestry, 194,800.
So move.
Neville, and then Joe, all those in favor? And that's fully funded. Okay, this is the way we have to do it. Is there a motion to zero fund the Artists Association this year? And we'll come up with a.
Well, they withdrew.
They
Yeah,
withdrew.
Yeah,
So we don't have to.
they pulled,
Okay, we don't have to do
they
that.
pulled on
Okay, remain 341,199. And not the original ask.
So moved.
Okay, Joe, is there a second?
Second.
Eleanor, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
that. I oppose.
Okay. Okay. Town of Nantucket Preservation Institute, 140,000, is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay, Jesse? Joe? Any further discussion? That's fully funded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Town of Nantucket Preservation Institute West Monomoy Neighborhood Survey, 140,000.
So moved.
Okay, Jesse,
Second.
Tim, any further discussion? That's a fully funded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, updated building with Nantucket in mind. Thank God, please, to get it over with. Is there,
Second.
how many seconds do we have? Multiple? That's fully funded at 45,000. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, historic aerial scanning project. This is my baby. I love those aerials. 40,000 fully funded. Somebody make a motion.
So move.
Okay, and who, Jim, second? Any further discussion? All those in favor? Okay. NISDA. Revised motion, 346,715 for the first cottage. Is there a motion?
So move.
Okay, Neville and Ellen are
Wait a
second.
minute.
All those in favor?
Hold on.
Wait a
Wait, no,
minute.
no, John,
Oh,
I have a question.
Yeah.
26.
They only have a $15,000 reduction. Maybe we could give them that. We didn't give them anything last year.
did they come forward with how they're gonna have public access, which is what the question was we were supposed to ask them?
No, it's project. I sent everything over that they sent to me, so,
Yeah, they did. I mean,
Yes.
what I'm saying is.
What
we
did
didn't
they
give
say
them-
about public access?
That
was
they're
the
gonna
problem.
have availability. She's right here. right?
Public access?
No, that's not her.
Oh, it's not?
Oh,
that's
sorry,
Mary
thought about that.
Bergman.
Oh.
On the building. Falls under. They're gonna, well, that's why Mary is
This is
here.
what I mean.
That's why Mary is here. We talked about, she's just gonna talk about the preservation restriction.
Right.
That's in line right now. They're
Oh,
already
okay.
online to get that. With that preservation restriction, they automatically have public access.
Right. And
So
they're,
it's our money and it's our funds and they can never get rid of it.
that's what I thought. I
That's what
thought
it
that
is.
was in there, but
Yeah.
what
No,
I'm saying
it
is
required.
15,000.
They were supposed to tell us for this meeting, like everybody else responded, that they have, this is what their plan is, written plan for public access. That was the question that was supposed to be asked,
Right.
because I have it right here. We never got that answer. We just got a
Oh,
reduction.
I think we did.
We get an answer,
Yes, it was in the, it was in the.
which I didn't see this one. I have printed out all the rest of it. What did they say with the, how are they gonna have?
They're gonna, the
access?
studios are gonna be available. Here, yeah, please.
Yeah.
Mary Bergman, Nantucket Preservation Trust, and I've been working with Kathy and Laura on it for the last couple of years. Part of the public access is, I think what Kathy included in that scan packet, is that the artist cottages, they're gonna have open studio, which is what they did when the artist cottages were down at 71 Washington. But it's also my understanding that when Neville spoke with Stewart, the public access of a historic preservation project is public access is guaranteed, the easement is the public access.
It's intrinsic to.
Right, that is the public, the protection of the public investment. There are projects on here we're working on. Not all of these projects have easements on them, and I'm working on that. There's a few that have been discussed that will have to have easements on them as well, but I think this is one where they're committed to putting a restriction on 3 buildings. That's the way it's gonna have to happen, because it's a parcel, it's on the land with the 3 buildings on it. They have signed a contract to put a preservation restriction on those 3 buildings, the exterior envelope of the building, and the character defining features of the interior. That's 3 buildings for $340,000 or $360,000. That's a pretty good return, I think, for this community.
So we have the money. It still keeps us under 4 million.
It's $14,541.
14,000,
Added back in.
If,
541.
if we fully fund it.
Going back to the 361.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yes,
That's a good catch.
yes. Thank you very much.
It's worth
Nice.
it.
we can go ahead. Somebody make a motion to fully fund it.
So move.
Second.
Okay, Eleanor, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Whalen Museum, 267, 274, 52.
Madam Chair, Candle Factory,
I know. The Whalen Museum. We used to run through there on rainy days back in the day.
Tell us more.
7 Seas as well, and Dexter's Shell Shop. There you go. That was our little, and then Hamilton Bowl.
Barefoot, I have-
And the penny patch.
Okay,
There you go. That was our
what
rainy
she
day.
asked,
You trying to get out at 1 o'clock or 5?
267, 274, 52. Somebody make that motion.
So moved.
Second,
And Neville and Joe seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The old mill. 570 from the regular budget, 145,000 from the undesignated for a total of 715,000. Somebody want to make that motion?
so move.
And Jesse, was that you? Second?
Second, sure.
Okay, any further discussion?
what was that total?
715.
715.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, portable housing, 400,000.
Before we go any further, Madam Chair?
Yeah.
Joe, did you really wanna, I think you were the one that suggested this. Do you really wanna bring the mill to 715 or was it 750? I thought that was.
715.
That's what they, in their breakdown have.
Gotcha.
145,000.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, so everybody comfortable with that? All those in
Yeah.
favor? Any opposed?
That's a really little one.
Nantucket Rental Assistance Program, 400,000.
So moved.
Second,
Can we do it any faster? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. To fund, safe harbor for pets, 0 for this year. It's premature. Somebody want to make that motion?
so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, ineligible, so we don't have to vote on that one. Linda Loring, 94,267 and 63 cents. Somebody want to-
Wait, do we have to vote on Nantucket Ice Rink?
I
Because
think we have to vote on
we didn't
it.
withdraw.
Yeah, zero. Fund them 0 because they're ineligible. I guess.
Right.
Is that somebody's motion?
We'll make a motion for 0 funding.
Okay, is there a second?
Due to the fact that it's ineligible.
Yes. Is that your second, Helen?
Yes.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Linda Loring, 94,267.63.
So move.
Joe. Any further discussion? That's fully funded. All those in favor? Okay,
We have the numbers.
bracket. Again, we're gonna own these things, you know.
Gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful.
That's fully funded, but the breakdown was 273, 265 and 126, 735. Somebody want to make that motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, John. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or
I oppose.
abstained?
I
Neville's, hold on. Opposed. With the caveat that they don't round anything again. Little League Fields. They asked for 719,007.58. The idea was to take the 359,503.79 out of the budget.
Well, no, we have,
Yes, I know, and then 359,503.79 out of reserves.
Yes.
For the open space. Is that somebody's motion?
so moved.
Second.
And
So that's
that gives them fully funded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Mass Audubon, for better or for worse, because we don't know what's happening, and you want to tell them before we get any farther what she's moaning about up there?
Stop saying.
Well, she was basically,
Legitimate questions.
basically
Polite.
going after my.
She wanted to know, if there was some place,
Where it was written.
where it was written.
Called
that,
out,
You know,
right.
we couldn't fund certain things, or CPC couldn't fund certain things, and so I did send her the RFP that was on the town website, CPC page, and I hadn't heard anything back from her since.
So what they've broken it down to is 64,931, and that's pretty much for the labor to do it.
That's for
Yeah.
Ken and the.
Does somebody want to make that motion?
I moved zero. No, I moved.
Oh.
No.
So what monies are we looking for, Mass Audubon?
64,931.
64,931.
All right, somebody made that motion,
I'll move.
and then somebody second.
I'll second
I think, Eleanor, did you second?
I don't know what I did.
I don't, Neville.
it. I second it.
Neville. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, do me a favor, somebody with a calculator, add 3 million.
Yeah, we have to add that.
3,954,849.94
Plus,
plus 1,4.
What?
What was the last three digits on
Hold
that?
on. Wait, did you add something where you shouldn't have?
no,
You were
Okay.
waiting, waiting.
1,4,541. There.
3,969,000.
Where'd you get 541?
Three.
What was that original figure?
No, 145.
Over there.
No, it would be 145.
No, somebody gave me that number already.
You're just.
No, adding back in NISDA,
Yes.
That's what that is.
There were others are coming.
14,541.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Others are coming.
I thought you were talking about.
No,
NHS.
what's the total?
3,969,390.94.
Do it again.
I don't think that's.
3,969,390.94.
But Linda, the previous number I think was based on the 570 as opposed to 715 for
I
NHA.
know that,
Okay.
but that's coming out of reserves.
Reserves, and she's
I'm
asking,
not adding.
Oh, I
it
see.
in.
Okay,
she's taking it.
So what's coming out of our regular $4 million budget
gotcha.
is 3,969,390.94.
Correct.
Now, the 200 plus when we do this, we have to also vote for 200,000 for administrative.
Administrative.
Somebody want to make that motion?
So move.
Second.
Joe, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and then
Linda, stop. Before you go any further, can you repeat that 3,969?
3,969,390.94.
Plus 200,000.
Yep,
And then
thank you.
the payment for the two bonds
Mhm.
at $350 apiece. Somebody want to make that motion? And that's bond 1 and bond 2.
So moved.
Okay, that's Joe.
Thing one.
And thing 1 and thing 2. Is there a second on that?
Second.
Tim?
No, that won't be me.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that does it. I'll go over all this with Brian. Because we don't have a complete final tally, but he says probably gonna go higher than 4.7.
Did we get our actual what we have? Or did I miss that? That's
He
really.
said right now, they're waiting on the interest payment, but right now he says it's about 4.7,
Okay, that's good.
if not more.
So we might have more in undesignated soon.
So we've spent 3.9, almost 4 million. But remember, we still gotta cover the administrator, so that may come out of undesignated, go back into the
969.
administrative.
Yeah, I know that.
So either way, we budgeted out 200, and when it's not, the 200 is not spent, it goes right back into undesignated. So it sort of comes and goes.
Mhm.
9-4.
Does somebody have the total number for historic preservation now with the,
Yes, two. Oh, I have to add that number back in there too. We gotta add that 14.
I had the 2.6 number, but I think it's more now.
It is, because you have to add the 14,541 back in there.
And the
Yeah,
145.
yeah.
What was the bond?
No,
What were
that's
the figures for the bond?
undesignated.
Yeah,
What was
we're
the
looking
bond?
at actual totals of what we're
Each?
getting.
Right, yeah, but
No,
that's not
350.
coming out of our regular, budget, it's coming out of. undesignated.
Still useful to know.
I don't know. I don't have it.
Okay.
I do have a question. How are we doing about collecting unused funds?
Well, now that we've got this done. We have time to sit down and go over the list, even, we drill down on that list.
Isn't there a bunch on there?
Maybe 100 grand total.
Oh, that's something. I thought it was more than that.
I don't think so. We've got, $20, $100, 3,000. There's a couple of bigger ones in there. But they're only in the 20,000 range somewhere, I think.
And Madam Chair,
Yeah.
just for commissioners like John, who's fairly new, the rule was that they had to start, and Jesse, have to start the project within 2 years.
Right.
And then they can take forever and a day to complete it. So with that being said, we do have a lot of old projects on here, some which may not have started for one reason or another, but have reached out to us,
We know.
To let us know.
We know they're doing
you
it.
know, Two Center Street being one, and that's Tim's project, but, they are working on that project and actually using all the funds right now. But some of the older projects from 2011, and again, they've signed these contracts and it clearly states that they have to start within 2 years.
Well, we didn't do that
Working on
back
their
then.
project.
We didn't have that rule back then.
No, the rule's always been there in the contracts.
We voted,
Neville?
yeah, we voted to do that.
It was always in the project, it was always in the application as well.
So some
And
of these are
even the
just
letters.
ongoing, like the cemetery, they didn't have the cemetery commission when Catherine died, they just sort of like,
I mean, I
now
was.
Charlie's doing it. So
Right.
we
Seemed like
got
there was
somebody
a lot.
doing
It's a
it.
good point.
We have people actually taking over some of these projects that
It-
Catherine died and that cemetery just went out the window. And same thing with the town clerk, she didn't know she had the
Right,
money.
she didn't know.
Same
so-
thing with Rob Brandy over there.
Yeah.
Trying to get my microfilm fixed by Browns River again. So some of these people didn't know they had the money, but now it's usually a town entity. They didn't know they had the money. And now we're working through these things.
Yes.
And some of them have been in touch with me and I've given them their numbers and so, but moving forward, I think it would be prudent of us to make sure that when these funds are given for, whatever fiscal year it is, that they use it within that 2 years, or at least start it within that 2 years, and then they can continue from there on.
Or if they're done, give it back. Put it in our
Well,
pot.
that's the thing, yeah. If they're not going to use it.
Yeah.
Because it requires,
Right, make it-
Should I just speak out when I want to speak? Okay. Normally, what was happening was the project managers at the end of the year, like now, would go to their clients and ask them, do you have any funds that you wish to return? Because in returning the funds, you also have to write a letter saying they're returning the funds. So that's what we were doing. That's what we used to do to clean up all of this. And our chairman was right. There have been people who have changed, so the people there don't even know they have funds. So that you will discover all of that just by doing that, by being more direct in direct contact with your clients.
so some of these new ones would have to allocate for project managers and stuff, which we
Right.
do later on this month.
Well,
What
we,
is the next meeting?
I think it's the 18th. That's our next regular CPC meeting. Yeah, it's the 18th. And then also with funds being returned from different organizations, it goes back to that specific pot. Is designated to, takes historic preservation,
Open space.
yeah, right,
And we can't allocate it until next year.
right.
Even if it's.
But
May that we
it is
voted
designated back
We
to,
consider that, that falls.
Yeah.
Seemed like something we should clean up. Yeah.
Yeah.
so I've sent out the list previously,
Do
but
it
I'll send
again.
it again.
Please,
You never send it enough.
geez, for me, I only have one project, so.
And then, at the next meeting, as, the chair said, we have some new projects that have to be assigned. So if there's any interest in new projects, you can either email me for discussion at the next meeting. One being the rain garden for Nantucket Lighthouse School. They've already signed their contract and they've already submitted their first reimbursement request or project status report. So,
Yeah, I signed all the contracts last week and they're finally done.
well, now they're coming into the
Now they're
office to
coming
sign
in
them
to
because,
sign theirs. I had
Yeah.
to sign them. They had to be vetted by Libby and Brian and this other person I don't know. And then, I had to sign them and then she has to send them out to them
Yes,
and
we
then they have to sign them and then
Yeah.
come back to the
Then they go
town.
into
That's a
the-
real contract.
For assignments, is this for funding from last year or like what,
The
like
one
the
that
rain
came out
garden we
July
did?
1.
the rain garden, yeah. So some of them are new, there's some new projects, but some of them are
But not
ongoing
what we're just voting
projects.
on now.
No,
No.
these won't be
no.
allocated until after town.
Yeah.
And then most of these projects that we're voting on this year are already assigned. I don't know that we have, well, I mean, Audubon is new, but most of the older ones are already assigned, not unless somebody wants to release them to.
I'm not gonna be able to change it. I hope you don't do it fine last time.
Well, unfortunately, I think I may, hang on a second.
You two all think that's one of them.
Yeah, the eighteenth is the regular CPC meeting.
I know, but hang on. a second.
We didn't have it,
18.
we didn't have it last month.
I'm trying.
We usually don't do it in December, depending.
Well, December is really close to Christmas.
All this money and we never have a party. I don't know what's going
You know, Christmas. don't be around here.
Nothing wrong with a little fun.
on. I like the way you said that.
Little party never killed anyone.
Oh,
It's right what they're
I
saying.
always make cupcakes.
That's it.
Well, we can-
Hang on a second before you split. I think I have,
Matt, Troy, I have one comment to make that's a little slightly off topic, but it's not out of scope, let's put it that way.
whatever.
Okay,
So go for it.
so I have a kind of an off it, and this is kind of self-serving, and it's also not like, I'm not wagging my finger at all, but I think one thing that might make it easier is the letters that were emailed. Those emails are like all over the place and they're difficult. So this is what Erica does for select board. Every time our packet is update, instead of sending us letters, she just updates the packet and says your packet has been updated. So then you can go to the town website and look at that. I also would like to request that all those letters are uploaded to the packet for today's meeting.
There's no packet. Which letters?
We should have a packet.
We don't have one. I
We
agree.
should. I think all those letters should be on the town website. Every submission that was of those numbers, because yes, this meeting is a record, but I don't personally feel that that's enough.
Yeah, it's not disseminated to the public. The public has no access to this stuff that we got after.
Why don't we have a packet? I always wondered.
They should. I mean, we're a public body. All our records are subject to public records requests, so.
Yeah, it's consolidating all the
Yeah.
information we need.
Can I say something?
Please.
It may change, maybe it's different. When the CPC was set up, and you look in the book, it even told you how to set up the office. That's why in the office, there should always be a table with a screen or what have you. So either the members can go in and work, or the public who has access to all our records in the office can go in and look at anything we have. That's how the CPC office was set up. So I'm not saying that because I'm opposed to it going to the town. I am not really, but I'm just letting you know this is something that we always had in place. I know that we are supposed to be going to a new office. And the question that I was gonna ask in terms of the office, does it have that? Because if it doesn't, then we are not in compliance with what the CPC office is supposed to look like. Does it have a place where the public can come in, sit down and look through all the records if they want?
Yes,
Or anybody coming in can sit down, or any one of us can go in and work
it
there.
has a conference room.
So
Madam Chair.
The
all of that
the
is
only
all set.
issue here is that I agree, the HCC has a packet, the planning board has a packet, the CPC, the Concom has a
Every
packet. the
board,
select board has a
every
packet.
board does that.
And people are required to put stuff in, so they're not dropping it on you the day of the meeting. So it probably should have a packet posted. We have our own website on the town, right?
We have a page.
Yeah, we should probably post the packet on the page.
It can also be posted where agendas are posted.
Our agendas are on the.
It's all white
Yeah.
paper now.
Yeah,
It's all-
it's not just stupid paper.
Madam Chair, through you to Tom, what packet?
Well, he's saying we
I don't
should
understand.
have a
What
packet
type of packet? Because
with
I'm hearing
correspondence.
It's like a
packets and-
cloud folder with
Correspondence.
correspondence.
Yeah, like when you go to town website, there's the calendar and it has all the meetings listed. And then when you click like select board or whatever, there's agenda and then there's agenda
And
packet.
packet.
So it would be all up, everything, every document that we are
Part
considering
of the agenda.
should be added to below the agenda.
Okay,
So that's what I'm suggesting. I think it would save email traffic for us, so we're
Right,
not going
Right,
back.
send them out in.
Oh, there was 6 days ago, there's an email.
Oh, I had that spreadsheet that we're looking
No,
for.
Maureen or somebody can show you how to do that, cause don't ask me.
yeah,
Yeah, no.
I'm computer savvy. I'm sure I can figure it out, but I know this is something that we were continuing to the next meeting, the CPC office and administrative moves and all of that. But I'm listening to Tom, and with all due respect, I hear what you're saying. It would be much easier, but then that is more work on one person. And to your question, you asked me at the last meeting that we had, the regular meeting, Eleanor, you asked me if I needed help, and I said, hastily, I don't need help. And let me just clarify that. I don't need help in being able to do the work, but I need help with completing the work. I am overworked and overwhelmed, and it seems as if every day or every meeting, there's something else new that comes up and I'm being hit with it. And so I'm one person in this office. When I started, I haven't been here 50
I'm
years
not
like
getting too
Linda.
far off topic here, it's
But-
not on the agenda.
Okay, well, I mean, it was brought up, so,
It was under, commissioner's comments, that's about it.
well,
So we need to bring it up the next meeting, put it on.
okay, it is on the next meeting, but we do need help in the office.
So who is not here on the 18th?
I have a important meeting that day.
What time?
That's a good question. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because our meetings are back to 10 o'clock now,
Ask my office.
unless everybody's comfortable with 9 o'clock, get it out of the way.
Or none. So it's me.
Well, we're already scheduled for 10 o'clock, for the next year on, with the Zoom link and all of that.
Okay,
I mean, it's based on the space availability
okay.
but if you want me to check with Maureen to see if it's,
No, just leave it at 10 for now. Okay. All right, so who's not here? Ellen is not here, I knew that, I knew.
Not here, yeah.
All right, so hold on.
I might not be either.
Are you back in Las Vegas?
No, I think our company has been sold that week. It's all hands on deck kind of thing.
Okay, so Tom, Ellen, or Tim?
will either of you be able to join in via Zoom or you're just
Eleanor's not.
out?
Well, I mean, I'm 6 hours ahead and
Okay.
my last day of vacation,
Yeah,
so
no,
I'm not gonna guarantee that,
No.
but
don't bother.
it'll be 2 o'clock in the end. It'll
When are
be
you
6,
coming?
4 o'clock.
Nice.
from-
California. So it'll be 6 AM if we do 9,
Well,
but
no.
I'll make it, really.
I feel your pain on it.
And Jesse, you don't know what time your meeting is?
No, but it's gonna be a couple
It'll be
hours
7.
and I can't.
3.
Change it.
Okay.
You're gonna be in Vermont, probably?
No, I'm gonna be here actually.
He's never going anywhere, remember?
Right.
So
I
Neville,
go two, but that's it.
well, we'll play it by ear then. We'll just see what's on the agenda at that.
I'm willing to, if I'm not out in the middle of the street, which I might be, I'm happy to, if I'm inside, I'll log.
You and I aren't going anywhere. All right, we'll play it by ear. Everybody sort of figure out where they are and what time, especially you two, because you guys don't know, Tim and you don't know exactly.
Yeah, I
where to find it.
gotta text into my office like that, but.
And Connie can probably be here, but there's no point in having a meeting with 4 people.
Well, we can't because we won't have a quorum.
Yeah, so that's what we just sort of, everybody sort of check your calendars and email Glenn as to where you were and what time. And don't bother from the streets of Paris.
Can you imagine? There'd be a lot of honking in the background.
Okay, great job, guys.
Mm.
Wasn't as bad as pulling teeth here.
Charlie's gonna be happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody want to make a motion to adjourn at, I don't know what time.
So moved.
10:28.
Hey, great. All those in favor, who made that motion?
I think.
Did you make that motion?
No,
Peter?
but I will.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Eleanor seconded. All those in favor? Okay, great job.
Okay, hold on.